Hi, Bruce Reba here, leaving Kennedy Space Center after a fantastic day in a sci-fi story. Author of Freedom's Quest on Amazon. Check it out, Florida history story. And Woodpecker on Kindle Vella, sci-fi. So, for years I was, 7 years I was a diver on the Eastern Test Range for the United States Air Force. And, I get to meet a lot of English soldiers and did a lot of barter and trading with them and some dive stuff, and got a helicopter ride off of them. But again, here comes my flaw in judgments. It happens. So for years, I would go hiking down towards the Mars Bay, and I would see at the English gun range, they had this like an 8-man tent set up, and I had a lot of stupid ideas at that time. But one time I came up with this idea that I was going to steal that tent. Sure, it weighed more than I could possibly carry, but just for some reason I was going to steal that tent and ship it back to the United States. So finally, I'd be hiking, and one day I drove a big truck down there. Drove right up to that tent. There's no cars. It's a remote place, no vehicles, nothing around. I step out of the tent. I'm scanning the area, make sure there's no one around me as I go to steal this big tent. And I just looked like 6 feet away from me in the gully, and there was about a dozen, I'll call them SAS, British soldiers, laying in a ditch, pretending they were hiding. And they all had these fancy, they all had the machine guns, maybe Sten, just like a tube with a clip. But they're all laying in the ditch, hiding. And so now I'm pretending I don't see them, and they're pretending they're invisible. And I turn around and I get back in my truck and leave. And I was so glad that I had started stealing that tent, dismantling that tent, when those British soldiers would have materialized out of nowhere and scared the living heck out of me. But that was my tent story, and as far as I know, to this day, it's still there. I never went back. Bruce Reba out.